बच्चे हैं सर, अभी सीख जाएंगे। इसमें कुछ डाला हुआ
Ready?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, please come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
Vishwajeet, congratulations at the outset for having made up to this stage.
Thank you, sir.
Good. So your interview is on 18th February.
Yes.
18th February, right?
Yes.
Good. So Vishwajeet, introduce yourself to the board.
Sure, sir. Good afternoon, members. My name is Vishwajeet Gupta. I was born and brought up in Datia, Madhya Pradesh, completing my education there. Thereafter, I pursued political science honors from Delhi College of Arts and Commerce, University of Delhi. Since then, I have been preparing for Civil Services Examination. This is my 4th attempt and second interview attempt. My hobbies are reading detective English fiction and exploring Indian cuisines.
Good. Vishwajeet,
Yes.
name some Vishwajeets, some other Vishwajeets, some of your namesakes who are well known.
Sir, I can remember of Vishwajeet Pradhan. He's a Bollywood actor. Other than that, there's a scholar by the name Vishwajeet, but the V is actually B there. So he's a Bengali scholar.
Okay, good. You come from Datia.
Yes.
Why Datia is called Datia?
So the name of the city comes from demon lord Dantavakra. In the mythology, he is situated there. He used to rule over the kingdom, but with the saints and the goddesses all came together and defeated the demon, but the name stuck, so it came to be known as Datia.
What is Datia known for? 3 things.
So Datia is known for many things.
3 things I'm asking.
Yes. The first thing is the Pidamra Peeth temple,
Next.
Shakti Peeth. Second is the Veer Singh Bundela Palace, the crown jewel of Bundelkhand forts.
Next.
And the third is there's a minor rock edict in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, where the name Ashoka is explicitly mentioned along with Devanampi Apiyadasi. So it is a direct reference that the person is the same.
Good. PSIR is your optional. Okay. BRICS. When and where the next BRICS summit is proposed to be held?
So the BRICS presidency is with India. The next BRICS summit will be held in New Delhi in 2026.
In which year we are in?
Sorry, sir?
In which year we are in?
Yes, sir. We are in 2026. This year it's going to be held in New Delhi.
So the answer should be, bachche, rephrase. India will be hosting BRICS summit this year.
Sure.
Right? Okay. So how many members are there in BRICS?
Sir, currently the membership has expanded to 11 members, which includes the original Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Along with we have the Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia. So there are 2 more members.
Okay. Is UAE a member? Is UAE a member of BRICS?
Yes, sir. I believe UAE is a member.
Okay. So, BRICS. Do you think it's high time that BRICS comes out with its own currency? Your views?
Sir, the BRICS has made a concerted push towards de-dollarization through its own currency. But the geopolitical pressures from the West has been quite significant. And the member countries have decided to keep the idea intact but not to implement it all of a sudden. Sir, I believe BRICS currency, it can be a plausible alternative to the dollar predominant world economy.
Do you think it is the US pressure which is holding BRICS back from its concept of BRICS currency?
Sir, it is one of the factors. The internal rife between members is also another important thing. Nations are not are not on a consensus on which currency to promote and how that currency will be valued.
Okay. Moving on to another aspect. Production link incentive. Currently, government is giving PLI in how many sectors?
Sir, if I recall correctly, government is giving PLI to 14 sectors. Out of them, some have been showing stellar growth, but the others, such as chemical cells, advanced chemical cell batteries, such as those are lacking.
So, pharmaceuticals and medical devices, are they in the ambit of PLI? Yes or no?
I'm not aware of it, sir.
So, only medical devices, you are right, 14, only medical devices, not the pharmaceuticals, are in the ambit of PLI. Okay, sir?
Yes. Vishwajeet,
Yes.
you opted for political science and international relations. What is the doctrine of basic structure?
So the doctrine of basic structure was propounded by Supreme Court in through the Keshwananda Bharti judgment. Sir, it essentially means that the basic constitution and its ethos should be kept intact. Even though the parliament has the power to amend it, it should not make the amendments in a manner that the original vision of the constitution is damaged.
But can there be a situation when there is a difference or conflict between the popular values and the constitutional values? And how would that be handled in that case?
Sir, can I think about it?
Yeah,
first?
please.
Sir, if I may, it is very much possible that the present scenario or the existing values came in conflict with the constitutional values. So to get out of that conflict, I think the constitutional values have to be upheld because they guide the major objective vision of the nation. Sir, if I may quote an example of Article 44, the Uniform Civil Code, secularism is a basic feature of the constitution, and constitution implores upon the government to implement Article 44. But the current situation, the circumstantial scenario is not in favor of that. So I believe a long-term consensus should be approached.
Okay. So I am making a statement. You have to counter it. The man is dead.
Sir, I counter this very statement that the NAM is dead. So the NAM essentially stands for an idea of non-alignment, wherein India stands for itself and not get subdued by any other power blocks in the world. So the idea of non-alignment is very much present in our diplomacy, in our foreign policy, although it has been restructured as strategic alignment or multi-alignment. So India is prioritizing its interest, its own interest, and emphasizing on the nation's growth while projecting itself as a southwestern power. So India is not willing to be under the Western Hemisphere, the US-led bloc, or in the, so to say, the G2 world order. So I believe the idea of NAM is very much relevant, and the platform itself can also be utilized to gather consensus on India's reform agenda.
Yeah, well said. Okay. You read a lot of books?
Yes, sir.
Which is the latest one you have read?
So the latest book I have read is by Parmeshwaran Iyer, the retired civil servant. His book Insider, Outsider, Insider. The subtitle being Method in Madness, in which he outlined the strategy which he adopted to implement the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the mission.
So, my last question. How has the political thought influenced you as a person?
Sir, you are talking about the...
You must have read political
Yes.
thoughts, various
The
political
academic
thoughts,
thought, yes, sir. Sir, the political thought provides a vast opportunity to interact with different ideological strands. Sir, that has been the best thing I have interacted with, because political science gave me an opportunity to understand the general ideological civilizational thinking, be it the Indian way, the Western way, or the Greek or Roman ways. So by reading the thinkers, their perspectives, although they might differ on their methods and their procedures, but the ultimate objective remains the welfare of the people. How the masses are benefited from the government or the governance architecture. So this has expanded my understanding of how the government actually runs, how the governance is actually done, and moving beyond the nitty-gritties of daily issues and problems, it gave me a bird's eye view of how the governance is actually envisioned for the people. So the government is always for the people and not against the people. That has been my general take from it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Vishwajeet, with your PSIR background, you would have justified your name had you given IFS as your first choice.
No, sir, I have given IAS as my first preference.
No, I know.
Yes, sir.
But Vishwajeet and PSIR, don't you think IFS would have been better as a first choice?
That is true, sir. IFS provides ample opportunity to justify my name, but the name itself is beyond just literary. It has a metaphorical meaning of a person who is humble enough to know everything and still able to learn, the explorer of knowledge and the gatherer of knowledge.
Okay, good. How would you describe India's present foreign policy?
Sir, can I think about it? So the present Indian foreign policy has seen a remarkable shift from, I believe, idealism to strategic realism, wherein we have interacted with the world the way we wanted and to satisfy our own interests. A prominent example is the de-hyphenation of the Israel-Palestine issue, or the proactive involvement in the global south, the leadership potential in the technological sector. So, for example, India has provided the world with UPI, the COMMENT platform. So, India is emerging as a strategic partner, a reliable partner for the world, which we refer to as Vishwaguru, or currently colloquially as Vishwamitra. So, India's foreign policy has been very proactive in defending India's interests, upholding India's values, and projecting India as a southwestern power, which is equally responsive to the concerns of the South as well as the demands of the West.
Okay. You must have seen recent photographs of our foreign minister shaking hands with the Pakistan speaker in Bangladesh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, during the funeral of Khalifa.
And on the other hand, we have our cricket team refusing to shake hands. Recently.
Yes, sir.
Which one do you think is the right way? Or is there a conflict?
Sir, I do not see this as a conflict. The foreign minister has an obligation to project India's image outwards in the world, and diplomacy has been the prominent tool, the primary tool in dealing with Pakistan till now. But the refusal to shake hands by the cricket team during the matches in the World Cup and the bilateral series, sir, I think that is a reflection of a general sentiment that is going on in the country. The terror attack on the Pahalgam was really uncalled for, and it was unfortunate. The nation took a united stance. So I believe the cricket team refusing to shake hands is an exemplification of solidarity, standing with the country and the soldiers, while the foreign minister shaking hands is more of a diplomatic gesture, wherein India is willing to put forward a friendly hand, but we are defensive enough and strong enough to defend ourselves and our interests.
Inland waterways, how many have been identified in our country, and how many are in your home state?
Sir, I'm not aware of the exact number, the number of waterways we have. But if my memory serves it right, there are more than 100 waterways that we have explored. Sir, in my region, the Bundelkhand region, the primary rivers are Ken, Betwa and Chambal. Although inland waterway potential is there, but there are not many significant strides in that direction. Although the government is exploring the opportunity of tourism travel in the inland waterways.
My final question to you. We are fond of detective fiction. What attracts you to this genre? How will it help in the civil services?
So detective fiction was a chance encounter when a friend of mine gifted me a book by Agatha Christie. Thereafter it started, and it has helped me and it has fascinated me through the storytelling, the reading between the lines, the organized thought process and analytical bent of mind, which one has to apply to solve mysteries, to have a slightly different perspective about things. So going beyond thinking out of the box, I think that is what fascinates me in reading it. Sir, detective fiction, not per se in the exact sense, but the qualities that it enhances and the quality that it requires, they helps in the administration of the governance. So for example, the virtue of thinking outside the box. So a bureaucrat has many times have to think outside the box, and although playing within the rules, but they have to apply the rules very innovatively so as to subserve the interest of the people while remaining within a restrained resource structure. Sir, there's also this aspect of observant thinking. Sir, I think of it as that bureaucrats are generally surrounded by people who are always there to flatter them. But to remain in actual ground connect with the people, and a bureaucrat has to be very approachable. A bureaucrat has to be observant of when the issue is of importance and when the person is of importance. So I believe these skill set comes in handy when dealing with the administration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vishwajeet, first of all, you're very young, and tell me, since IFS is your second choice, suppose you're posted in a country, embassy, and they're doing some interaction. The question is posed about the custodial deaths or police encounter deaths in UP. How will you handle it? What will be your reply?
Sir, the internal policing architecture is a sovereign issue of the country. The other nations do not have a right to interfere in how we do that. Although I'm not justifying what happened, there are some situational nitty-gritties that need to be taken care of and to be understood before we reach to a conclusion. So my stance would be guided strictly by the foreign policy that the External Affairs Ministry or the line that they hold will be guided by that, while also assuring the democratic values and the principles that we have upheld in the country. The policing architecture has been very proactive, I believe, and they have been responsive enough to the challenges of the times, be it cyber attacks, the digital arrest. So exceptions do not become the rule, I believe. They rather prove that there is a rule. So the rule of law has been upheld in the country, and the police has done a good job in it.
You can also add the independent judiciary, human rights watchmen, media. I mean, everything is quite transparent and open in our country, and democracy, of course, is. So, then, just I also wanted to check out about the Russia-Ukraine war, since PSIR, you may be fully aware. So, US is trying for peace. Their 20-point program is there. Russia is quite okay with that. So, why Ukraine and European Union is not agreed? Especially, I would like to ask you from the European Union point of view.
Can I think about it?
Yeah.
So the primary concern of Ukraine and the European Union as a whole is the bilateral talks that have happened between President Trump and President Putin. So, by negating the presence of Ukraine on the table, they are deciding the future of a sovereign nation without any involvement of that nation. So, I think that has been the primary intent in the 20 point deal. Apart from that, there is the cessation of territories towards the Russian nation from the Ukraine. So, the ceasefire line holds where it is right now. So, Ukraine has to cede a certain significant portion of its eastern land boundary to the Russia. Moreover, the withdrawal of US security umbrella is also a challenge. The US has asked the European Union to step up their defense spending so as to defend for themselves. Sir, I think that has been a primary concern. One important aspect is the changing architecture of the geopolitics, wherein US implicitly accepts the presence of a G2 in the world. So when it comes to the internal security and sovereignty of the Union, they no longer have the kind of support that they used to have with the US. So,
okay, so now there is one point. So what is the concern of European Union with Russia? If this deal goes through, then they have some major concern. Why they are so? That is why they are so much against it.
yes, sir, they have a major concern that, let's say for tomorrow, if Russia exerts its influence or pushes through the border on another European nation, and US will interfere, and then there again the situation will happen wherein the US will advocate a peace deal. So it leads to a situation wherein the Russia gets veto power over how to start the war, when to start the war, when to end the war. So their objectives are better fulfilled than the European Union's.
US has issued a new strategic security policy. Are you aware of 15-20 days back?
Yes.
What are the major highlights? How does it affect the rest of NATO countries?
Sir, I have not read the summary of it. I just knew that it was in the news. Sorry about that. I'll read about it.
Because it has changed a lot of stances of their priority towards Russia, China, and their aim towards Iran. You may like to have a look at a lot of things. That is why the European Union has and the rest of the NATO countries have their own concern. And last one, quick one, why US is now actually recent breaking news that they carried out attack in the capital of Venezuela and they were already building up. Why are they doing it?
Sir, the reason provided by US administration has been the drug trafficking from the Venezuelan border to the US. So that has been the stated objective to work on it. But if we read between the lines, there is the geopolitical shift wherein US is trying to exert its influence over the Western Hemisphere. Moreover, the presence of vast crude oil reserves in the Venezuela and its alignment with the Russia, Iran, China axis, that has been a concern for US. So all these things cumulatively became a reason for the US intervention.
Okay, Vishwajeet, so your interview is formally over. How did it go?
Sir, it was decent. I could have answered sir's questions better.
Okay, good. So, a couple of observations, and then my co-panelists will also share that. You are very good. You must come out very clearly in terms of your responses. At certain places like the response to the Ukraine, your answer went quite long. So just try to be specific to the point. There is nothing wrong in not knowing something. But when someone is asking what is the stand of European Union, you have to be very quick. Right? No need to again insert G2 into that. So what happens? Let us try to assign roles to ourselves so that we fix ourselves to a domain in which it is asked, right? So you are already full of information. Whole strategy lies in processing it wisely and nicely so that there are no follow-up questions in that part, right?
Right.
Similarly, like when the question was regarding the NAM, you again use the word Vishwaguru, Vishwamitra. Now, if the Vishwaguru has now been replaced by Vishwamitra or Vishwabandhu, okay, so advice would be not to get in trap of such high sounding words. Better to stay clear. India has been friends with the country and it still continues to persist with its policy in the same direction. Because then the questions might come on to what is Vishwaguru, what is Vishwamitra, what is Vishwamitra. Get your point? So let us try to skip the domain from this side. So being very specific will be of great help. Okay?
Right.
And one last thing, thoda sa you know very well. The best part is you are very honest, you know things very well, you are a well-led person. So thoda sa you have to give some energy. थोड़ा सा स्माइल करो बच्चे, आप हमेशा एक ही अभी देखो स्माइल कर रहे हो आप इंटरव्यू खत्म होने के बाद, वैसे ही थोड़ा सा मतलब it should not look very serious. You are engaging in conversation with some 60+ people on the other side of the table, right? Just engage with them. So it is, remember, it is not a confrontation, it is just an engagement. And ये जितना अच्छा होगा, light होगा, you will come out with flying colors. ठीक है? All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Vishwajeet,
Yes.
you come out as a very calm, composed, confident. The demeanors were quite okay.
Thank you, sir.
A very good articulation. These are all your positives. You have to be a little concise
Right.
with your answer, as the chairman has already said. So you take care of all these observations. The path is very easy for you actually. So be confident and smile. Why are you so nervous?
So it just
Okay. So they are not enemies who are sitting across the board. They are all friendly people. Because they are in a way to help you.
right.
Okay, so just have that feeling.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Vishwajeet, I found your answers to be well informed, okay, and analytical. The only thing is, as chairman and honorable member has pointed out, feel relaxed. Okay? The more positive energy you give to the board, you will get more marks.
Right, sir.
Just keep in mind.
Sure, sir.
All the best.
Thank you.
Vishwajeet, I think others have already brought out, you have a depth of knowledge. बहुत ज़्यादा knowledge है आपकी, ठीक है ना? Very good, proud of it. You have to restrict the answer. How to do it? What is the solution? Now you have about 1 month plus with you. So have you made some bullet points for each topic?
Yes, sir.
So just go through the bullet points, right? So then, because the answer become very long, then it become monotonous, then your chances of getting caught somewhere and you getting into trap for yourself. So tuck, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it should be. And next is, what are newspapers are you reading?
So the Indian Express and the Hindu.
You better start a financial type related newspaper, though by then budget would be out.
Yes.
So you start build up right now,
Sure, sir.
right? Because then the questions could be there for that will be. And then what sir has asked about the AI. So that AI summit also.
Yes, sir.
So whatever is happening that time, that is fine. Otherwise, I think you are a very smart personality. बढ़िया है सब कुछ है. उधर तो control करना है, ठीक है? बाकी सही है.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
So all the best, Vishwajeet. कुछ पूछना है? You want to ask anything?
Yes, sir. I have
Tell
a
me.
question. Sir, actually the reasoning behind the long answers is because in my previous interview, it was the last interview of the day, the afternoon session. So the board was really tired, they were exhausted, and they just gave me 2-3 simple questions and then just say whatever you want. They gave me a free way, but I was restricting my answers to a brief, crisp manner, and I gave a very pointed answer. And they immediately jumped to the next question because probably they didn't want to apply that much mind into deciphering the answers. That's why I'm giving.
You see what happens, it all boils to the psychology, right? क्या है, see, even you think that at the end of the day, going through the same recourse again and again, sometimes it saturates. So, but you can't help it. But we would still insist that please stick to being very specific in terms of answers, because you never know, any person can further get you into that direction, and the interview will not follow your course as you have desired, right? So best course of action is, आप जितने simple, precise, concise रहोगे, आपके लिए it's all boils down to the probability, है कि नहीं? It was just who knows, next time you might be. इस बार इंटरव्यू कब है? प्री लंच, पोस्ट लंच?
Post lunch, after
पोस्ट लंच, आफ्टर कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हो सकता है you might be the first, second, third, and every board is not the same.
Right.
So it depends, right? कैसा रहा आपका मेंस? Means good, so ठीक है. So means, last time how much you got?
The total marks?
Interview
It was below average, sir.
कितना था? नंबर बताओ ना.
120.
Rest assured, you are a fit candidate to score somewhere 200 or beyond that, based on your performance today. ठीक है? So need not worry on that part. Stick to your basics. Do not go overboard. ज़्यादा अपने आप confine रखो. That will be of essence.
इसकी प्रेशर में तो बोर्ड कैसा होगा?
हाँ, उस पे मत जाओ.
वो एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर है. It is beyond you, right? You have to correct yourself. तो उससे तुम्हारा मतलब ही नहीं है. वो तो जहाँ पे लकीर है तो वो उसमें क्या फर्क?
थोड़ा स्माइल करते रहो, लेकिन अगर आप स्माइल करोगे ना तो बोर्ड जल्दी उठेगा नहीं. अरे बच्चा ठीक है. ये अगर आप
एनर्जी लेवल थोड़ा सा पता लगे बंदा आया उससे बढ़ रहा
वॉल्यूम. And one bad experience doesn't define you.
Yeah.
तो दूसरा ये है कि जैसे कंटिन्यूस डिप्लोमेट वाला जो है, अभी ठीक है, एक बार आपने वो लाइन कर दी कि वो, बल्कि लास्ट टाइम पहले इंडिया इज अ डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, वी हैव मीडिया, वी हैव इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी, वी हैव ह्यूमन राइट्स इश्यूज एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स. व्हाटएवर इफ समथिंग हैज हैपेंड, दैट इज टेकन केयर ऑफ, ऑलवेज टेकन केयर ऑफ, राइट? So interference into this thing may be large, because it may be over a cocktail, over a drink. Somebody. So as a diplomat, one has to answer it very diplomatically. But at the same time, strong point, yes, we are very transparent and we have a democracy, legal rights are there, everything is.
ठीक है. All the best. शाबाश.
Thank you, sir.